Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to Gerald E. Thompson, affectionately known as the Gus, here in Waupun as we get ready for some non-conference baseball action between the Poynette Pumas and the Waupun Warriors.
At the game today, this game is being broadcast on YouTube. Go to Jeff's live streams on YouTube.
Looking forward to bringing you another good game. I guess Waupun, I didn't get a chance to see the game last night. I was not feeling well, so I couldn't do the broadcast, so I apologize out there to those folks that were trying to get there and watch it. But I understand that they did win last night. I'll take a look as soon as I can pull up my game changer, and I just am a little bit peeved right now at one of my cameras that's sitting out in center field. I tried a wireless statement and setup, and I believe I had it working for the first game, and now I don't know what I did that I can't get it working here for the second game that I'm broadcasting of this season. So I might be taking a run out there. I'll leave it here on the center. You just won't have any announcing going on, so I can see if I can get something working, because we are back live Thursday and Friday. But this week of Thursday and Friday, we're going to be on the radio station and broadcasting for RP Sports. So I want to make sure I've got everything up and running decently before we get that broadcast coming up on Thursday. So let's see if we can take a look at the starting lineups here for the Waupun Warriors. I'm going to have to pull up a game changer because I just don't have anything all set up here. So let's see what we got going on. Chase Hansen's going to be the pitcher for Poynette. Got the usual crew up here today, and Scotty Van Galen back, so that's awesome to have him back here.
First pitch today at 5 o'clock, 76 degrees, winds out of west south.
We'll wait to see if we can get that stream started here down there and there it kicked in right there. So catching tonight is going to be Hunter Camp. He's going to be catching. The pitcher is going to be Braden Larson. Over at first base is going to be Jake Krieger. Second base will be Brian Ferris. Evan Sauer will be at short, and Ethan Hull will be at third. Conrad Davis, Mason Holtz, and Ethan Cunningham. First pitch is fly ball out to Mason Holtz for the first out. That's going to bring up the number 2 hitter. That's going to be Alex Bush. He's going to be playing left field. Chase Hansen was the one that just flew out to center for the first out. Alex Bush will be playing out in left. A little bit high there. 2-0 is the count. Here's the next pitch. Ooh, a little bit behind. 3-0 is the count now for Larson. John, what was the final score last night with Mayville? 14-6. Wow. Larson throws a strike in there. He's got one out already. 3-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Outside, and he's going to walk Bush. Base runner on now for the Pumas. Brings up Ashton Meester, number 5. He's the catcher. First pitch into him is a ball. Again, non-conference action here. Non-conference conference action all week. Hit him in the hand for another hit by pitch. A first hit by pitch. I apologize for that. Has runners now at first and second. Brings up number 20, Hunter Webster. He's the first baseman for Poynette. Didn't get a chance to have a conversation with the coach, so I don't know how Poynette's been doing on the season. Strike right down the middle for Braden Larson, coming back and throwing that first strike into Webster. Here's the pitch. A little bit inside. 1-1. Pretty good lead out there at first. Pops that one out for a foul. 1-2 to Webster. Here comes the pitch. Right over towards Sauer at short. Hops up. Fires over to one to get the shirt out. So he knocked it down there on the fielder's choice.
Webster grounds the short for the second out. Brings up center fielder Hackbar. Well done.
2 down now here for the Warriors, but the runners move up to second and third. Ball 1 here for Hunter Wells. Oops. I wrote that in the wrong spot. That's Brett Hackbarth who's up to bat. Hackbart. Wasn't paying attention there. Webster's the one that flew out on our fielder's choice ground out. 6-3 on the putout. 2-1 is the count now to number 8, Brett Hackbarth. Fouls that one off. 2-2. Thanks again to everybody for joining in and jumping in on the live stream. Those of you who are new, they know to jump into that chat if you can and put some information in there about some of the players. If I mispronounce some names, that's going to be fouled off in foul ball territory, given chase. Good hustle out there by Ethan Cunningham to run down that play over on the first base side and flying out to the right fielder for the third out is going to be Brett Hackbart. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on in the top half of the first. We'll be back here for the bottom of the second. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's live stream. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast.
Looking to boost that bottom line? Check out the Massey Ferguson 7700S series.
Welcome back here to the Gus. Bottom of the first inning. The Waupun Warriors coming up to bat. Number 14, Emmett Hull is leading off. First pitch in there for Chase Hansen is a ball, a little bit low. Strike one. Strike two to Emmett Hull. Is it 2-2? Missed that first pitch. Popped up foul going behind us here. Keeps the count at 2-2 for Emmett. Here's the pitch. Little bit high, able to lay off on that. Gets it to a full count, 3-2. Hits him and draws the walk. Even if it wouldn't have hit him, if it would have been a little inside there, he's going to reach on base on balls. So Emmett makes it down to first base. Brings up number 12, center fielder Mason Holtz. Here's the pitch. On the outside edge for a strike. Had a little bit of a tail to it. Here comes the next pitch. That's hit up the middle. Gets through. That'll be a base hit for Mason Holtz. He's going to have the first hit of the baseball game. And hustling out there, Emmett Hall gets all the way to third. Mason moves up on the single. Chance for Evan Sauer here, number 25, the shortstop. Batting in the 3 spot, has 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. Waupun looking to capitalize right away here in this first inning. First pitch to Evans, a strike. 0-1. Nobody out. In the dirt, that's going to allow 1 run to score. Holtz will move up to third. Scoring on the wild pitch. And the Warriors strike first, 1-0. Nobody out. Still have Mason Holtz sitting over at third base. I do have my third base camera working, so we'll see if I can flop to that every once in a while here. Right down the middle, but a little bit low to Evan. Here's the pitch. Little bit high. 3-1. Here's the count that Evan's looking for. Hit on the ground hard. Foul. Brings it to a full count. Got wind blowing out, so this certainly is set up for Evan to get a little juice behind this one and beat the center fielder. Here comes the pitch. Low. Ooh! And this time it's a strike. It goes down looking. Evan thought it was a ball. First out of the game. Can't blame him there because it kind of looked like the same height location as that first pitch that came in as a ball. Brings up number 9, the sophomore Jake Krieger, first baseman. That one's hit hard on the ground, foul for a strike. Warriors still have Mason Holtz sitting over there at first base with only 1 out. Definitely don't want to leave him sitting out there. Outside. 1-1. On deck is number 22, Chase Beam. He's DHing for the pitcher today. On the outside edge for a strike. 1-2. Hansen ready to deliver. Oh, gets it on the outside. A little bit of a breaking ball there, and he gets the strikeout for the out number 2. Brings up number 22, designated hitter, Chase Beam. He's going to be hitting for Braden Larson, who's on the mound. Inside, he's got a good hold of that one, and that's going to drive in 1 run. Potential to get a double if he can get on his horse. Here comes the throw. Relay is not in time, and Beam gets a double on the hit and an RBI. Good job there for Jace Beam.
Cunningham. Ferris on deck.
Brings up now number 7, Ethan Cunningham. Cunningham had a heck of a play to get out of the inning. Beam sitting over at second. 0-2 to Cunningham. Outside with that little breaker. 1-2. Little low. 2-2. Good contact there by Cunningham in right center. Has him beat. Beam is going to score from second. Going into second is Cunningham standing up for a double. And the Warriors are taking advantage here in the first inning.
Brings up second baseman Brian Ferris.
3-0. Brings up number 7 hitter, number 5, Bryant Ferris. A little bit low to Ferris, ball 1. Oop, they had him leaning, but nobody there, so he throws it in the outfield, and that's going to score. Cunningham all the way from second. I don't see how. What do you score that? Error? Cunningham scores all the way around. Inside, jamming him 1-1. So the pitcher did not have to throw, did he? He had turned. He didn't have to throw it. I kind of thought, like in his mind, he thought that he had to get rid of the ball. So he turned to throw it to second base. And just as he was throwing it, the second baseman took off running to the base. 2-1. 2 down. No Warriors left on the base. They put 4 spot up here. Hit again. Nice job there by Brian Fair, staying down on it. Line drive right out there for a single. And the hit parade continues.
2-0 hit brings up left fielder Conrad Davis. Camp on deck.
4 hits so far for the Warriors. And the hit by pitch brings up the number 8 hitter, number 11, Conrad Davis, playing out in left field. There's the pitch. Little bit high. Ball 1. Fouls that one off. Evens up the count to 1-1. Ferris has good speed over there. I wonder if he'll send him here. A little change of pace there. Didn't break or didn't drop in there like he was expecting on that changeup. 2-1 to Conrad Davis. Outside. 3-1. Ferris again with a huge lead, but he's got great speed. Right inside. Full count. 2 outs. Ferris will get a good jump here and take off. Fouled that one off. To stay alive is Conrad. A little bit outside, not much he could do with it, but just fights it off, gets a little piece of it. Keeps his at-bat alive. Gets a little bit underneath it, pops it up into the air. Jetstream up there's blowing it, but the right fielder does a good job of making the read and gets the out.
Davis flies to right to retire the side. In the inning for the Warriors, they pick up 4 runs on 4 hits. 1 Poynette error, they strand 1. After 1, 4-0. Waupun.
4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error.
36.
And the Waupun Warriors strand 1. After 1 complete, the score is 4-0. I think I'm going to step away here, see if I can get that center field camera to work. I wish I could figure out what a mistake I had made. But since it's not functioning, I'm going to try something different, and I'll be back here shortly on the air. I'll keep it here so you can see the main camera. You've been listening to Jeff's Hour here on Jeff's live stream. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast so far. When I come back, we'll hopefully also have some stuff in the chat that I can get out there and share with you. Missy Holtz has got it figured out right away. Yay, Mason. You bet. First hit of the game for the Waupun Warriors goes to Mason Holtz. Welcome back. Finally, you can see I got that center field camera working. That's my favorite view that I like to see here, as long as I can click the buttons fast enough to jump to the rest of the play. But you can see then kind of the location. You can see the pitching motion, his hitter's approach. I have no idea where we are in the lineup, so I'll have to get myself caught up here. Grounder to the second baseman, thrown out. Ferris over to Krieger for the putout. 10-2 is your score out there on the scoreboard out in left field. Just a little bit inside. Braden Larson still on the mound, correct? A little bit inside and low. Thanks to all of you for hanging in there with me. Base hit up the middle, diving play just outside of the reach of Evan Sauer. You got to see the dive there, but you couldn't quite see the ground ball.
Top of the order, Chase Hansen.
Top of the fourth inning here. Chase Meyer is the one that got that base hit. Sitting over at first base. 0-1's the count. Lucky there on the throw over. Jake Krieger going to try and get it over and not get there in time. Runner's going to advance. If only I can do a picture-in-picture, because then that would be a nice little shot there to have that plate view kind of with that one. So I might see what that looks like, because I kind of like that third base view too, because you can see the entire infield in the plays. Here's the pitch. Popped up foul. Leadoff hitter Chase Hansen. I think I heard there was a pitching change for them, though. Strike. 3 looking.
Hansen's 0 strikes for the second out. Brings up the pitcher, Brady Warren. Nice ground there.
Two and 0. 2 4 spots in the first and second inning, and then a 2 spot in the third for the Warriors. 2-1's the count for Larson. Outside, good stop there by Hunter Camp behind the plate. Ooh. And he walks him. Right up the middle. Base hit. Cut off there by Krieger. Nice job. Hold the runner at third. Mason Holtz does a nice job in center hitting the cutoff. Bases loaded. 0-2 with 2 outs. Trying to hold them scoreless here. Right on the outside edge, and he gets him for the strikeout.
Goes down looking to retire the side in the inning for Poynette. They pick up no runs on a couple hits. One Waupun error. They leave him loaded after 3.5. 10-2 Waupun. 21 pitches for Larry.
No runs on 1 hit, 1 error for the defense of Waupun, and nobody scores. 3 left on for Poynette. We'll be back here for the bottom of the 4th. Just going to pop over quickly and touch that chat. Yep, Shelly, I got you. No commentary because I was out trying to fix my camera, so you're right. Dave Turner again connecting from, you got to remind me, Dave. I apologize. He's saying go Warriors. If there's any Poynette fans out there, please feel free to jump in here. The kids like to go back and watch these games and see who is watching, where people are cheering from, how far people are watching from. This is a perfect opportunity if you don't get a chance to see neighbors or nieces, nephews, or grandkids play. This is the time. Get them the link, get them on here, and put something in the chat. Hopefully we'll go at least 5. Well, we'll go at least 5, but might go out longer than that, so you got a chance to reach out. We'll be back here shortly. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here. Welcome back here to the Gus. Bottom of the 4th inning coming up here for the Warriors. Number 22, Chase Beam. Number 7, Ethan Cunningham, and Brian Ferris will be in the hole. And trying to get my book caught up here eventually. Hit on the ground right in the gap off the glove of the shortstop. You could see that when they're moving. Conversation up here. You call it at home. Do you want it to be an error or a base hit? Good call. Base hit. Beam dives back in. Fouled off by Ethan Cunningham. Oh and 1. Beam over at first base. Little inside. 1-1's the count to Ethan. I think I saw last time Ethan had a pretty good hit the last time too, I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought he had too. I thought he had a double, so that was his second double of the game. Two and 1. Outside. Pitcher for Poynette is Horn. I don't have a first name. What is it? Brady Horn. It's come in. I think he came in the 3rd inning for Chase Hansen. Here's the pitch. Down the middle. Cunningham drives it into the ground. Picked up there by the shortstop. Flips it. Gets the force at second on the fielder's choice.
Cunningham grounds into a fielder's choice for the first up. Brings up second baseman Frank Ferris. Davis on deck.
6-4 on the putout for Beam. And Cunningham and Beam just switch places. Ooh, that's going to hit him in the back. Brian Ferris, he'll take the walk. One of the players, especially from last year, he was not afraid to stand in there and take it because I think he understands. You have to understand the game of baseball at times here. So his run right there, with him being on base, he puts it as a 10-run rule if they can get them out in the 5th. So you save some pitching arm, get out of here early, go home. Not have a game on Wednesday. But they do have 2 games coming up. On Thursday, I believe they take on Lamira. And on Friday, I think they take on Laconia, or it's flip-flop back and forth. Those 2 games coming up are going to be on RP Sports, so you're going to want to make sure that you pick up. I'll start out the game here on both of the feeds, on RP and on mine, and then I'll drop it just to make sure people can find it, because I know I've got a good following out there. Some of you know just to pop it on when you've seen that the Warriors' schedule says a home game. And again, I apologize for last night and not having that opportunity. I would have rather been here than sitting in bed. 3-1, Brady Horn to Conrad Davis. One of 2 left-handed bats in the lineup. Inside, and Davis takes the walk. Bases loaded now. Baseball game IQ, kind of talking about with Brian Ferris there. There were a couple of games last year, I just remember that, again, pretty young team, that there was a couple of times where instead of turning and avoid the hit, make that hit, and you end up loading the bases, or actually I can think a couple of games we saw that could have pushed a run across. But it comes with experience. It was good to see that Poynette had a JV team. Hit on the ground right at the third baseman. Almost doubled off. Ferris gets back in time. 2 outs. Landon Richter coming up to the plate for Emmett Hull. Here in the bottom of the 4th. Camp hitting into that line drive. Had Bryant way off base there at second. Outside, Landon Richter's first at bat. Hit on the ground, foul. 1-1. Nope, that one froze on me. I did not even realize that. Pop fly to the first baseman. Gets the out. My apologies that one froze. I wasn't paying attention to it. So back to the main. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 3 left on for the Warriors. After 4 complete, your score is 10-2. We'll be back here for the top of the 5th. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's live stream. Welcome back to the Gus as we get ready here for the top of the fifth. Whole bunch of defensive subs. Let's see if we can pick them up for you. Still got Jay Krieger over at first. At second will be Landon Richter. Chase Beam is going to go over to third. Brian Ferris is going to go out in left and out in right. I did not see who went out to right. Oh, Connor Campos? Colin, thank you. Conrad Davis is the new pitcher here, lefty. Ball one. Right there on the outside edge. Up to bat is the new substitute hitter for Hackbart. That's going to be Dominic Graham. Here's Davis on the fire to the plate. Little bit low, and Graham draws the walk. Probably not the way that Conrad wanted to start things out. Brings up number 10, Hunter Wells. One and one to to Wells. Strike two by Conrad Davis. Gets the strikeout. Yeah, good job over there by Conrad Davis. Sorry, I did not have the right camera view to pick that off. Is Conrad a senior this year? I think so. I was going to say the first time I actually saw Conrad play was when he came up to Legion Ball. To the varsity Legion as a freshman. Yeah, so again, I saw him when he came up for the Legion. He came up huge for the Legion because we needed one more pitcher. That was Caleb's super senior year when he came back. And they were missing a pitcher, and Conrad Davis just suddenly stepped in the playoffs, and unreal. I mean, I was watching him, and I'm sitting here going, they are going to have a great arm coming off the bench, and if they got anybody else that can go with him, Warriors are going to be deep for pitching. Well, didn't work out as much. I think a couple of injuries he had. And he gets the strikeout here as well. So Conrad hopefully coming back to this form as a freshman. Big smile on his face as he's heading to the bench. Good job there for Conrad. We'll finish up that story when I get back. Bottom of the fifth inning coming up here for the Warriors. 10-2 is the score. Welcome back. Mason Holtz drills one out into right field, and he's going to get a triple out of that. Start things off here for the Waupun Warriors with a big triple.
Holtz's third hit of the game is a leadoff triple. Brings up shortstop.
3 hits for Mason Holtz. Another contact there by Evan Sauer. He drills one down the line. Scores Holtz easy. He's going to get into 2 and holds on to it there.
Sauer reaches his third extra base hit. Brings up first baseman Jake Krieger.
Good day for the top of the lineup here.
Lead hitter for Waupun, number 2, Brady White.
Brady White is going to be the new hitter for the Warriors, coming in for Jake Krieger. So Evan started out with a strikeout looking, and then after that, a triple, a double, and a double. 3 hits, and extra bases on all 3 hits. Good day at the plate. Mason Holtz again also had 2 singles and his triple here. New pitcher coming in as well. It's going to be number 18 for Poynette. See if I can get that from Scotty here. Let's pick that up here. Dave Turner watching from Idaho. Brian's granddad. Great to hear it. Close, but have a torn hamstring, so thanks for the videos. You bet. Glad that you're here. You're welcome, Shelly. Glad that you have this opportunity again. So I started doing this. The real reason I started doing this was just, and again, some people know this, I was not a good fan. I admit that to the end. I was not a good fan when I was watching my son play. It didn't matter. Football, baseball, hockey. And one time I started videotaping a couple of the games, and all of a sudden I couldn't figure out who this madman who was screaming on the video was. And then it sounded like me, and it was. So after that, I figured out the easiest way to make sure that I was a better fan was to put a microphone in front of my mouth. Brady White coming up to bat. Meyer dinks him in the helmet. He'll get on first. Good start right there for Brady. I know that he's disappointed. Wasn't expecting to get boinked in the head, but he'll take it. And then I just enjoyed doing this over and over. I love watching the high school sports. I really like following the Warriors, hockey. Football's been a down for a couple of years, well, since 2017. But I think that Coach Harmson will get them to come back, and followed baseball ever since and just enjoyed it, and then have done some of the Legion, and then, 2-0. Runners at first and second for the Warriors. Little bit high to Chase B. McGim, 3-0. Right down the middle, taking the whole way, 3-1. And he walks him. Bases are loaded. Number 13, who is that? Oh. Colin Camphouse is coming up to bat for Ethan Cunningham. They call him Kyle, so I'm wondering if... Carl. Oh, where does that come from? No clue? Here's the pitch. in there for a strike. 0-2 for Colin. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Ooh. Looked like that was right on the inside. Good eye there by Camphouse to get the ball. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Inside again. Try to get him to chase on that breaking ball or freeze him. 2-2. Oh, gets it all the way to a full count after being ahead 0 or the pitcher being ahead 0-2. I'm sorry, I didn't pick up who that was again, the pitcher? Chase Meyer. Oh, and he gets him swinging for the first out.
Campbell's was not swinging for the first out. Brings up left fielder Brian Ferris.
Brian Ferris coming up to bat. Ferris with a single. Got on with a fielder's choice and then was hit by a pitch. So he's been on 3 times today. First pitch to him is a strike. That one bounces in front. That's going to get past. And that's going to score the run to give the win with a 10-run lead.
Run scored from the wild pitch.
12-2. And that's going to do it here. Let's see if I can give a little bit of some updates here. Waupun with 12 hits in the game. Poynette with 3 hits. Poynette had 3 errors. Waupun's defense had 2 errors. Braden Larson was up and down with his pitching here for the Waupun Warriors, but Conrad Davis came in and threw an inning and did a good job.
Lance scored in the game for Poynette. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. They strand 6.
6 of them were left on for Poynette.
2 errors. They strand 8.
8 stranded for the Waupun Warriors. So as I was mentioning before, again, I will be back on the air on Thursday. It's a 4:30 start, so I'll start out again on this channel, and then I'll let you know where the link is so you can switch over to RP Sports because I'll be broadcasting with the radio station, and we're going to have the buttery smooth voice of Steve Winterhack here calling the game. On Thursday, they're going to be taking on Laconia Spartans just down the road. And then on Friday, we're going to have the same thing at 4:30 and another non-conference game, and that's going to be against the Lamira Lions with a 4:30 start. And once again, that'll be on RP Sports, and Steve Winterhack will be here on the broadcast. So thanks for sticking around here and following through. I wanted to make sure I got everything up and running. I think next time I'm going to put up the poll view and ask what you guys think of which camera view you prefer and figure out how to manipulate those. I liked that third base here where I had the camera in camera, but what I noticed is it slowed down a little bit and you kind of got a little bit of a jerk there when I was watching it. So not sure if the computer can handle that kind of overload or not, but that'll do it here from the Gus in Waupun. Thanks for joining us here on the broadcast. Again, as always, appreciate the opportunity to bring these games to you, and I hope that you enjoy it and continue to spread the word out there. Get that out there for grandparents, uncles, aunts, neighbors, giving them the opportunity to get online here and watch a great baseball team that's here in the Waupun Warriors, and we're also going to be doing some softball games as well. I'm thinking there's a doubleheader, I think, scheduled for softball on Saturday. I just have to reach out and contact the coach, make sure that everything is a go for that. But I will talk about that more on Thursday and Friday. Thanks again for listening. This has been Jeff Sauer from the Gus here in Waupun. Take care. God bless.